Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the second speaker with the motion today. This House would require individuals to pass a political general knowledge test in order to vote. We agree and we believe that we should hold a very objective and effective voting, but we don't agree to require individuals to pass a political general knowledge test in order to vote. Because in our status quo right now, knowledge test is not an urgent thing to do, and it's not effective at all. We don't think that a political general knowledge can guarantee the objectivity and the effectivity voting that I'll bring the reason why in my principal argument later. Therefore, rather than we require individuals to pass a political general knowledge in order to vote, we would encourage them to be as objective and independent voters as possible for those who are voting for the better voting result. Now, welcome to my rebuttal. OG says that in this status quo right now, the voters are voting with unclear reason and randomly. Yes, we can say that's what in our status quo right now, but I'm going to question the OG. Can you guarantee that if you implement this test, they'll vote with the reason, with a clear reason and objectively? Even if they hold this test was just a formal test, like our exam and test in the schools, in the university, and so on. And do you think that this test will describe our objectivity and our knowledge in political towards the voting process? Even worse is this test will just be in vain, worthless, and wasting our energy, resource just to do the test. And we believe that by implementing this test, it will not help improving the status quo right now. Because now we have a lot of smart citizens who vote for the best political candidate. And we believe that the status quo right now will be improving better and better, that without this proposal will be an objective and independent and smart voter at the end of the day. So this proposal will not help improving in our status quo, and the objective and the goal of the OG is not clear. Now, before I move on to my principal argument, I would like to tell you why this motion appears in the status quo. OG say that there are two problems regarding the voting process. The first is they are not knowledgeable in the political issue. Second is the knowledgeable person don't want to share it with those who are not knowledgeable. Yes, we know that's the problem, but we don't agree with this motion because the government proposal doesn't help at all regarding these problems. Meaning, by holding a test will not help us. The citizen who are a knowledgeable citizen will not vote for the best leader for the future. And also, what happens if the voters doesn't pass the test, so they don't have the right to do the voting, right? It's ideally not right because every voter in Indonesia is worthy of their own voice. And what happens if only them who pass the test do voting? It will lead to an unobjective and inequality of the citizen because their vote doesn't count as they are not eligible to do the voting. And welcome to my principal argument. Under the context of the voters, ideally, they have a right to do the voting, whether they have a knowledge in the political issue or not. Because we know that there's so many out there who doesn't have knowledge in the political issue, but still vote for the best political candidate. And they are still worthy of their voice and their voting, right? And under the context of the government, ideally, it's their responsibility to give full right to any citizen to voting. And by doing this test, will not help the status quo right now, even worse, will worsen the status quo. I'm going to tell you why this is bad by implementing this general knowledge in political tests. Firstly it's just waste of time, waste of resources and fund for the government to hold the test. And secondly, the government still needs to do a lot of things which is more important, like the political issue like corruption, poverty, and so on. I think it's better for them to prioritize those rather than holding a test like this that would be just in vain and useless. Now, before I conclude my speech, I want to say that there's no urgency in this status quo right now to hold this test, and this test doesn't represent our objectivity and knowledge in voting our best leader. And the last is, our proposal is better to rather accommodate any other big problems rather than holding this test. That's why we are very proud to oppose.